Hello everyone, salut tout le monde, welcome to EFA139. Today I want to touch base on naturopathic lifestyle, my naturopathic lifestyle, how I define it. When I look at things in my previous background investigation, what does it say that and where does it say that? What is it defined by? And definition of terms, people use terminologies and I'm guilty also. And then when you look at the definition, you should not be using that terminology. So therefore, when I'm going to talk about naturopathic lifestyle, I'm going to talk about my lifestyle, the way I see it, right? And those that listen to my previous podcast, I believe in rules and regulation. I believe in medicine. I believe in science. Like I believe in all that, right? I believe in bringing it to center. And you're going to hear me say this often, BITC, bring it to center, right? We have too much people unbalanced or unbalanced information out there, or like there's information out there that is not accurate, that is not backed by data, not backed by science, not backed by facts, not even backed by anecdotal evidence, right? So when I live my naturopathic lifestyle, it's backed by a lot of things because I researched it, because there's a commonality. When I talked about the 6 groups that I follow, that are centennials, I look at their commonality. I look at people that live strong and healthy. I don't want to live 100 years old if my last 25 years is I'm on a life support system. No, thank you very much. I'm talking if you want to live 100 years, 90 years, or a solid, healthy, power walking every day, whichever, living life, spending time with your children, etc. That's the lifestyle that I choose to live naturopathically based on evidence-based. Right? Not just based on hearsay, not just based on business and people profiting on, right? It's based on actual lifestyles that actually, the factual. The people that I started following before this lifestyle are those that took off 100 pounds and more and never put it back on, right? And I'm going to get into the data and the facts and so forth. So what is a naturopathic lifestyle to me, Jean-Guy Bourguignon? The way I approach it, the way I apply it, and the way I live it day to day. Knowledge, training, and experience, right? There's a lot of people who have knowledge out there, they have the training out there, but they don't have the experience. Or reverse, they have the experience, but they don't have the knowledge and they don't have the training. So what does this mean to me? Anecdotal when I say percentage, right? When I say the percentage, there's people, there's studies, there's facts out there based on anecdotal evidence. And if you go back to the world of cannabis and cannabinoid therapy and the evidence that was, the reason why people gravitated towards it is because of the overwhelming anecdotal evidence across the world. Not just in parts of Canada, or parts of the US, or parts of Europe, or parts of Africa. All over the world, people were sharing information on that beautiful smartphone we're looking at, and they started showing it with children with seizures and people with Parkinson's and so on and so forth, even pets and dogs and so forth, right? So they started sharing anecdotal evidence around the world, and that's why people start paying attention. Hence today, we have those that are off 40, 50 opiates a day, and they're down to 5 opiates a day and following anecdotal evidence based on cannabinoid therapy and so forth, right? So when I live the lifestyle that I live, the naturopathic type lifestyle that I live, it's backed on data and facts. And I've talked about this on previous EFAs where there's so many studies out there, like great institution, medical professional, medical experts with data, with percentages, with facts, and so on and so forth, whether it came from anecdotal evidence or science medical research evidence, right? And then you get the epigenetics. If you look at the word epigenetics, you can look at it, you're affected by your environment, affected by what you're subjected to. Your toxics out there, get rid of them. When I'm talking toxic people, toxic lifestyle, toxic marriages, toxic families, toxic whatever, toxic business environment, work environment, employment, get rid of that. Because the epigenetics will prove that what you're subjected to in your environment and what you're exposed to affects your lifespan, okay? Whatever you're subjected to environment-wise, whatever you're exposed to affects your lifespan. And you talk to people, talk to your cancer experts, how stress is one of the leading causes of cancers, right? Cancers flourish in your body. It takes like 12 or 14 different types of cells, structures to start breaking down for it, the cancer to develop, right? But so obesity doesn't cause cancer, but cancer loves an obese body, loves an insulin body, right? So the data and the fact of my naturopathic lifestyle, I base it on data and facts and research, right? Anecdotal percentages. When you're talking millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people, or thousands of people in different parts of the world, all finding a commonality amongst each other, that's what I base myself on. I base myself on science, medical research, Tons of it out there. Your DrJasonFung that I speak of before, tons of medical research out there, tons of information on epigenetics and so on and so forth. Then water, right? Your water is key. Clean water is key. The type of water is also key, but good quality water, consistently hydrating yourself, flushing out your toxins while you're living this lifestyle is key. 2, supplements and herbs, right? You can go back thousands of years or millions of years, whatever you believe in. Supplement and herbs have it's a necessity as a daily. These are daily, by the way. A lot of people, and I've talked about this before, let's wait 20 years till we build up all these issues and these inflammation issues and so on and so forth, and then let's treat it. Let's treat the cancer, let's treat the Crohn's, let's treat, no, right? Go backward, start now. Start living this lifestyle. You won't be treating nothing other than treating a beautiful day and with exercise and energy and so on and so forth, right? So water is key for me. Supplements and herbs, I break my fast with supplements and herbs. And I've talked about the fast 100 times, a million times, or 139 times. But I've talked about the fast, and that's key for me. But I break my fast with my supplements and herbs. Real food. When I say real food, I'm not talking engineered food. I'm not talking food that looks real, but it's not real. I'm not talking about strawberries that are this big that are grown with nitrogen gas. I'm not talking about real food that was stolen and replanted. Try to grow your own. Try to buy local. Try to buy real food. Try to find out if it's real or not, right? There's a lot of food out there that is not real food. Exercise. Try to exercise routinely. And when I say exercise, I'm not necessarily going to the gym. I'm not saying do something. Go play baseball, go play soccer, go power walking, go get on a bike, weight resistant type training. There's a lot of great trainers out there. If you're not familiar how to do it, there's a lot of great schools, a lot of great trainers, a lot of great individuals that'll give you a very good foundation for you to do your own body mechanics, right? To work on your exercise. Massage, yoga, stretching. Absolutely 100% behind all that. When you combine massage, stretching, yoga, exercise, real food, supplements, herb, water, you're going to live a hell of a different lifestyle. A hell of a different lifestyle. So let's go here. Clean. When I say clean, there's people out there, whether it's your low carb, high fat diets, your paleo diets, your OMAD lifestyle, your keto lifestyle, your vegan lifestyle, your carnivore lifestyle, etc. So many of them live these lifestyles, but they're not clean. Not clean at all. Low carb, high fat lifestyle. Some people say there's heart attacks statistics. Those that live these kind of life, heart attack statistics. People that dirty keto, for example, that they're going to talk about these conditions they had. It's because it's not clean. Whether you live your processed food lifestyle or you live whatever lifestyle you live, if you're eating junk, whatever you put in your body, you are what you eat. It's an old analogy, but it's a reality. So if you're not eating clean, I don't give a rat's ass what you do in a lifestyle. If it's not clean, doesn't matter what you follow, you're going to break apart like Kurt Plum, like pulling up the needles and the marbles start falling. That's what transpires with your body when you're not clean, right? I was living facts of that. I was that food chart guy, the protein guy, the shake guy, the power bar guy, the supplement water guys, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was 350 pounds. My face was this big and my knees were falling apart. My hips were falling apart. My heart was falling apart. Blah, 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 right? Because I wasn't clean. That's the only difference. Now I'm clean. I do live a low carb, high fat lifestyle, but clean food. I do follow, if you look at paleo, OMAD, keto, vegan, carnivore, I follow all these lifestyles, right? At different levels, I follow all these lifestyles. I do try to cut my my protein type meats. Do I love them? Absolutely. Do I eat my animal products? Yes, I do. Whether it's bottom crawlers, whether it's seafood, whether it's land walkers, I do eat them, but I limit them because I try to eat more like very dark greens, like your broccoli and your kale and so forth. I try to have those foods combined, but it's a balance, right? Bring it to center. Balance. There's a balance here when I eat. And the reason why I do that is through knowledge, it's through training, it's through experience. And the training that I'm doing, it's self-taught. I've been researching now for the last 14, like solid 14 months. But I'm gonna say approximately 2 years ago, I really started looking into it. I was pulled up my laptop today, and some of these old things that I had in there from 2 years ago, from 18 months ago, and the lifestyle that I live today, how I amalgamated everything, and how I modified it, and how I tweaked it, and how I made it better through research. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to rebalance yourself. It's like people say, oh, you use whatever. It's okay to grow. It's okay to educate yourself, and it's okay to pivot, right? And this is what I do. Nutrient dense. I've talked about this before. Nutrient dense. Your grass fed, grass finished. Your vegetables that are dark and dense in nutrition. All that stuff, right? Real food ties into nutrient dense lifestyle, and then your calories are real. And that's why I only eat once a day, because my calories are real. When you're filling yourself with your sugars and your artificials and your processed stuff, those calories are pure. They don't feed you. It's like having 10% fuel and 90% water in your fuel tank. It won't work properly. It won't work at all. As you start adding diluting and less dilution into real nutrient dense, that's when it starts working, right? Same thing as a vehicle engine or your body's engine. Nutrient dense, apply these principles, it starts working. Like when I talk about balance and bringing it to center, my mother had ALS, and I talked about this before. Her last 7 years on earth was with ALS. In that ALS, she had bowel cancer, had the operation, almost died, a whole 9 yards, right? And in there, my mother was on sugar pills the entire process. And she was part of the study and that kind of stuff. But she did not know she was on sugar pills. She was part of a study, and the percentage of people would be on the medication that they were doing research on, and that for ALS. I'm talking about years ago here, like what, 15 plus years ago now. And my mom, she, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, it was a sugar pill she was on the entire process. And I would ask her, do you think it's working? How do you feel? And that kind of stuff. I could just kept seeing the kerplunk things coming, and her marbles falling down, meaning her legs and her arms. And at the end of the day, she had no more movement, just tears running down her face, stomach fed, bowel fed, all that stuff, right? But she was on sugar pills. But psychologically, she thought she was doing well. Right? Psychologically, she thought she was doing well. She believed in God. She was very Catholic. She didn't want to die. She waited right to the end until she fell into a diabetic shock. And my mother wasn't diabetic. My mother was not diabetic. She fell into a diabetic shock because of all these kerplunk thing that transpired to her. Probably unclean nutrition, right? Threw her into a diabetic shock. But that sugar pill, that whole we talked about this before, where some people will think they're doing well and that kind of stuff, but they're not. They're not doing well because it's not clean, it's not balanced, it's not nutrient dense. There's no exercise involved. There's no real food involved. There's no supplements and herbs involved. It's not a natural lifestyle, right? And then you get to a certain point in your life, and then you start feeling the bobos, and you start feeling the breakdowns, and then you want to change it through pills and operations and surgery and so forth. And I said this to you before. I believe in science. I believe in medical. I believe in all that stuff. But first and foremost, this is what I believe in. So whatever terminology you want to use in your lifestyle, or whatever you want to follow in your lifestyle, if you want to live that lifestyle so that you're not being, let's just say, raped financially by the businesses out there, or those that snake oil juice salesman, right? It's still the 2020 2.0 version. They're still out there. Now they're just more expanded with the world of social media and so forth. They will sell you a pill, they will sell you a liquid, they will sell you a device, they will sell you anything and promise you like my mother, right? They promise you the moon under the sun, but you don't get it. You don't even get Stardust. So follow this lifestyle, stay clean, right? These principles, call it what you want. Make sure whatever you're saying you're doing, it falls under your description of by definition. And that's it. Under EFA139, Jean-Guy here, wishing each and every one of you a most productive and memorable weekend. Thank you. Merci.